Another update and a return of the dreaded Q word. That's right, Quickswitch is again a hot topic, as the latest Team Fortress 2 update did in fact have a Quickswitch change and a revert of an item back to its original equip region. There was an update on the 1st of March, which was yesterday, and it basically had a lot of bug fixes, a lot of really cool stuff. Just little fixes from the community fixes that have been taken on board and fixed. One of my favorite, the best one, is the exploit that fixes the infinite money exploit that was being used in MVM to basically, max yourself out with infinite money. And people were using that exploit in MVM. But one of the more controversial changes, I guess you could say, is, like I said, the Quickswitch glitch. For those of you who don't know what the Quickswitch glitch is, it is a glitch that is used in the game to use certain items on your cosmetic loadout with other items, other cosmetics that would normally conflict. Now, these items have an equip region called the head equip region, whereas you have, the eyes, the top of the head, the face. This equips the entirety of the head, and there is a very specific glitch in the game that enables you to wear these items with any other item in the game, essentially having them have no equip region. And this was a rather hot topic a while ago because of a change that Valve made and then reverted. Let's show the thing in the actual update that I'm referring to right now. It's the reversion of the previous change to the equip region for the Cranial Cowl. Now, this is quite near the bottom, just above a gravel pit update. But yeah, some people may have missed this. Some people may have seen this and jumped out and started doing some trading. So let's go through exactly what this means. About 5 months ago, I did a video talking about how the Quickswitch glitch was patched. This was about 5 months ago, September the 27th, just before Halloween update started happening. And basically, there was a big patch which removed the ability for the Quickswitch glitch. Shortly afterwards, though, it was reverted, and Valve kept it literally a couple of days later, September the 29th. A couple of days later, Valve just reverted it back to how it was. They left the glitch in the game. So there was a lot of discussion about whether or not this glitch was going to be kept. Do Valve, want to keep it in the game? They were saying, oh, we'll decide at a later date. Were they going to kind of slowly phase it out? Nothing was really said, and a lot of people just assumed that they just wanted it left in the game because it wasn't doing people any harm. Later on, there was a new Quickswitch Unusual added into the game. There was, in fact, 2. This was, again, a couple of weeks later, October the 13th, when Scream Fortress 2022 came out. And there was the Cranial Cowl and the Oni Man. Now, these were 2 hats added into the game, which, again, had the head equip region, could be worn with anything. And therefore, a lot of people wanted to equip these. They wanted to get these. This was multi-class. This was for soldier. And a lot of people thought, yeah, get my hands on an unusual version of those. There was only a handful of these Quickswitch items which can be unusual. And if you can get them in unusual, they usually go for quite a lot of money. Now, there was a massive unbox, which I reported on a few days later, of a massive unbox. Strange Unusual Oni Man was unboxed, so a strange unusual version of this hat, one of the Quickswitch items. And that was absolutely huge, because a strange unusual is obviously rarer than just an unusual. This was an elite grade, which is the rarest grade you can get. And the fact that it was unusual and on a Quickswitch item meant that it was likely to go for a lot of money, a lot of keys, a lot of items, unusuals, whatever, but valuation in the thousands. Now, if you fast forward a couple of months, there was a patch on the 5th of January of this year, the 5th of January 2023. Now, what did this patch do that is relevant to what we're talking about today? Well, it updated the equip region of those two items we've just been talking about, the Oni-Man and the Cranial Cowl. It updated them to be not Quickswitch items. So again, making them non-Quickswitch meant that they couldn't abuse that Quickswitch glitch. Their equip region was no longer the head equip region, and therefore it means that the valuation was a lot down, because people like to use Quickswitch items in unusuals because it means that they can have lots of unusuals on their character. They can have combinations which normally cannot be had together. Often you want to try to find a miscellaneous item like a bonk boy or a viewfinder. Those are worth a lot of money because they don't get made anymore. Misc items aren't made anymore. But having a Quickswitch item, you can have them combined. So the fact that the equip region was updated meant that the Oni-Man and the Cranial Cowl were no longer Quickswitches, which meant that their valuation in terms of TF2 trading went down a lot, because they were still cool hats, amazing designs, nice cosmetics for people to wear on their classes. However, the fact that they couldn't be used using the Quickswitch glitch meant that the valuation went down a lot. So that kind of brings us to today, the most recent update, which talks about the Cranial Cowl. And like I said, if you take a look here, this is the update history, and March the 1st, 2023, it reverted the previous change to the equip region. Now, I'm going to raise my hand and say that I do not know the reasoning for this. If anybody watching can tell me, I have heard lots of different rumors. I've heard people say that it is Valve's choice. I've also heard people say that it is down to the cosmetic creator having a preference on the equip region. I've heard a lot of different theories. I do not actually know the actual reason for why the equip region is changed. So after the equip region fiasco, the Quickswitch kind of patch that we had that removed it, and then it was added into the game, and then Valve added more cosmetics using this glitch into the game. Then they removed them from being able to use that glitch, and now one of them has been added back into using that glitch. What about the Oni-Man, you say? Well, the Oni-Man is not in the same ballpark at the moment. It is still as of the January the 5th update, it's still reverted back to just not having the head equip region, so you cannot use it as a Quickswitch. So in the grand scheme of things, what does this mean? Well, if you're the owner of a Cranial Cowl, then its valuation has gone up now, because being able to use the Quickswitch glitch does make that cosmetic a lot more valuable than it was before. If you're somebody who had one and sold it, then you may have lost out on a little bit of capital there. But it does raise the question: how often are Valve going to be changing the equip region on these items? Is the fact that the Quickswitch glitch exists in the game an issue for people with these cosmetics? Are you going to be wanting to get rid of them in case they lose their Quickswitch ability? If they decide to change the equip region on your hat, would you rather get the keys now, the money now, rather than lose valuation down the line? Or are you going to be picking up items that were previously Quickswitch, like the Oni-Man? Is the Oni-Man going to be reverted again? It's hard to say. I was taking a look at the Backpack TF Cranial Cowl. There are 17 unusuals listed on here. Obviously, this does not include those in private backpacks and things like that, so the number may be slightly more. But it does make you wonder, the valuation of those unusuals have fluctuated a lot, and it's only been 5 months. On release, they would have been through the roof because it's a brand new item, a brand new Quickswitch item, using Halloween effects, and then the price would have maybe gone down a bit and then maybe up a bit again once some more unusuals had been, unboxed with non-Halloween effects. And then obviously the January patch would have hit, making it no longer a Quickswitch item, and its valuation would have gone down. And their valuation, no doubt, will probably go a bit up again now due to the fact that it is back in that sort of elite club of cosmetics that can be used as Quickswitch. There's one that I saw 3 weeks ago here, 22 days ago, a green energy Cranial Cowl. This was a price suggestion put up on Backpack TF for 260 keys. A pretty nice amount indeed, but it does make you wonder, like, how much is that hat going to be worth now? 3 weeks later, now that this patch has been made by Valve, does it mean that the valuation automatically goes up, and people who managed to acquire Cranial Cows during this period have inadvertently made a decent little profit? So I guess my question to you guys is, what do you really think Valve is up to? Do you think Valve are going to keep adding items into the game that have this equip region? Do you think that they're slowly wanting to phase it out? I thought they would, but Scream Fortress kind of proved us wrong. Do you think there are going to be more items that are going to have their equip region changed? Do you think this is what Valve was talking about when they said that they would assess sort of the equip region regarding quick switches when they originally reverted the patch? I honestly would be really enjoy to hear your thoughts on what it is, because it's an interesting time, and it's something that just doesn't seem to go away. The dreaded Q word, the quick switch fiasco, is ongoing and approaching half a year now. I do wonder when we're going to get to some sort of concrete resolution. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this little info dump. As always, please let me know your thoughts. I love to read them, and it does give me ideas for things to talk about in the future. But as always, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.